Welcome back, everybody. My name is Stevie with Sunshine Co-hosting. Today we're sitting on one of our beautiful properties in Cape Coral, Florida, and we're going to talk about some very avoidable mistakes that over half of new vacation rental owners make and how to solve them right up front. Let's get started. Make sure that your listing is accurate. As potential renters are looking for properties, you typically only get one shot to catch their attention. And with that, it should go without saying that your Airbnb listing has to be incredible for you to catch that attention. Sometimes it can be a little bit tempting to fudge the listing, quote unquote, in order to get those views. However, you always want to make sure that your Airbnb listing is as upfront, transparent, and honest as possible, because there are multiple ways that you can still make that perfect listing while maintaining truth within it. Starting out, most owners are chomping at the bit to get those first bookings and make some revenue, and so they end up making listings that, while look good, aren't as necessarily truthful as they need to be. Basically, they're building their listing in a way that's overselling their property. Think of it like this. Your Airbnb is a lot like an online dating profile. Nobody wants to go online and see something and then be presented something different when they get to the actual property. So make sure that you don't exaggerate your description, and make sure that you don't use misleading pictures either. You want your listing to convey what the person is actually going to experience when they visit your rental property. And just to absolutely drill it into you guys one more time, it is absolutely imperative that your listing is truthful and transparent about what your guests are going to experience when they book with you. Because if you over-exaggerate what your property is, you will get bookings at first, but they will almost assuredly come with negative reviews, which effectively kills your bid. And just so you know, Airbnb reviews are like gold, and you need to treat them that way. One of the biggest pitfalls that new renters run into is not knowing the importance and the overall value of the review feature on Airbnb. These reviews are essentially the one mainstay proof that people are looking at when they're thinking about renting out your property. Additionally, remember that no reviews can be just as damaging to your listing as bad reviews can be. If no one has anything to say about your property, that leaves potential guests feeling a bit timid about whether or not they want to book. It is important that you actively seek out reviews for your Airbnb listing, but you need to strike a balance in between them. It's important that you actively seek out Airbnb reviews, but you need to strike a balance. Nothing is worse than hunting for reviews and getting hit with that 2-star lashing by accident. There are a few ways to seamlessly get Airbnb reviews, so let's talk about how that works. Number one is going to be check in with your guests. Now, checking in this context essentially means sending them a message on the Airbnb platform about once every day, maybe once every 2 days, depending on their reaction to it, to basically ask and make sure that their stay is still going as great as you want it to be. Number two is going to be to review your guests. Remember that reviews on Airbnb is a two-way street. Not only can renters review your listing, however, you can review the renters and how they were during their stay. You're going to want to wait to the end of their stay to do this every time, regardless of if it's a good or bad review. But after they have ended their stay, if they've been a good tenant, make sure you reward them as well by giving them a 5-star review. Now, our third and final point for getting more reviews is don't be shy. Ask for them. If your guests have expressed that they're having a great stay at your property, you can and should ask them to leave you a review on your listing. But there is a way to ask them to make sure that you get better results. Let's take a look at an example message that we've written for our clients. Hi there, I'm glad that you've enjoyed your stay. Airbnb is very strict about the standards they expect from hosts. I've left you a great review because of how much I've appreciated having you as a guest. Would you mind in return leaving me a 5-star review to show Airbnb that I'm meeting their standards? It would help me out a lot. A couple of key things from that example is that we once again thank them for their stay, once again confirm that they had a great stay, and then also offered them the value of giving them a review before asking for yours. On the flip side, if you know that they had troubles during their stay, or you're unsure of whether or not they had a great stay, it's probably better not to ask for that review and let it happen organically if it's going to. Now we get to the hard part. We're going to talk about pricing. And our main tip on pricing is going to be don't set and forget your pricing. The Airbnb market is just like any other in the way that it fluctuates continuously. Many owners will just do some initial research of other properties in their area, set their price accordingly, and then forget about it. This is absolutely a mistake and something that is costing you money. Your vacation rental pricing should be dynamic, meaning it should change with the market. So here's some quick tips on how to help you with your pricing strategy. Every couple weeks, you're going to want to do a recheck. In the way you're going to want to look at those other properties that you were looking at when you started your pricing bid and figure out if they have changed, what direction they have changed, and overall just make sure that you are aware of the market that you are in. One thing that you may find when you start doing that is that near event times, prices usually tend to increase, and also during peak seasons. Florida, of course, being November through about April. Prices are always going to increase during that time because there is more volume, there are more people looking for vacation rentals, and therefore because there is a higher demand and the same supply, the price is going to go up. And I want to reiterate that special events are super important in this pricing scheme. If you are somewhere where there are conventions nearby, concerts nearby, or any other big major event like that, prices can go as high as 3 to 5 times the amount they originally are when those events are in town. And that's why it's super important for you to stay focused on your market and at least once a week go and check and make sure that your pricing is compatible with the rest of the market. So to go over all these tips again in a quick summary, first of all, you want to make sure that your listing is always as accurate as it can be. Make sure that your guests are getting a true look into your home and the best look into your home. And again, reviews are like valuable gems in the Airbnb world. Make sure that you are consistently asking for reviews when it is appropriate and also doing everything that you can to review your guests and make sure that your guests review you. And then finally, make sure that you are always looking up pricing data in your area and making sure that your rental is comparable with the rest of the market. If you follow those 3 steps, you are effectively guaranteeing that the core of your Airbnb vacation rental is solid and makes it so getting bookings and getting good reviews is a nice, easy road the rest of the time. Now, if you're watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, that seems like a lot of work, unfortunately, there's no good way to say it other than it absolutely can be. Running a vacation rental, just like any other job, requires time, requires capital, and a lot of things that many people don't consider when they start their bid. So with that being said, that's what we do at Sunshine Co-Hosting. We take all of these responsibilities like checking the market, checking pricing, making pricing schemes, guest check-in services, review services, you name it. You pay the bills, we do the vacation rental work. So if that sounds like something that's going to interest you, make sure you click on the link in the description today and get with one of our representatives, and let's talk about how we can make your vacation rental experience a whole lot better. Once again, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Stevie from Sunshine Co-Hosting in beautiful Cape Coral, Florida. I hope you guys have a killer day.